My name is Aman. Aman Tom West. No, I'm joking. Don't put that in. I've been freelance since June. Worked at a gallery. It wasn't for me. To be fair, every job that I have when I work full-time just ends up being for me. It forces me to be like, well, if I can't do it here, I have to do it in my spare time. Yeah. So then I end up obsessively doing like so much all at once, because I'll be like working a job and doing events and doing my own work and making my own music and performing. And then that just becomes so overwhelming that I end up getting really depressed and like really just, it takes it out of me. And then the thing that gets hit by that is like my mental health, but also the job, because that's the thing that I can take time off from. Can't take time off from myself. Like if I'm not feeling it, or if I'm feeling a bit low, or like I'm just not feeling very creative, that's when it becomes hard, because it's like, well, this is my job now, like this creativity is my job.
If you're starving at home and you have no money, you're not going to be able to create any art. I decided to do an MA, like a multidisciplinary like arts degree, and one of the things we learned about was like the creative industries. It's the whole thing about the artist, and being freelance seems like a good thing, but then you realise as time goes on, even though you get that big paycheck at the end of it, that's all you've got is the money. You don't have any holiday, you've got pregnant, you've got no, unions and stuff like that. You've got no pension, you've got nothing, By coming from like a more organisational business background, I guess it's helped me be a whole lot more realistic with arts, but then also it's helped me help other people, because like numbers, organisation, same with art as well. A lot of the time you're either one or the other. That's why you have producers that work with artists to make sure that the artist remains doing art.
Do you consider yourself freelance?
Oh my god, yeah. All of my stuff is freelance at the minute. Even when I've worked like full time, I worked like 6-7 months just doing like admin work to pay the bills. But I was still like running my freelance stuff alongside it as well, which is sick.
How do people approach you?
Ooh. Probably mainly through people, like other people, like networking, as much as I hate that fucking word. Because realistically it's just about making friends, I think, majority of the time. It's about like connecting with people.
I think I would have gone freelance a lot sooner if it wasn't for like parental pressure. Like the biggest thing that I had to come up against when I did go freelance was like telling my mum, which is like, I don't know,
It's a new way of working.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have an experience, they don't understand. So I think it just comes from like the protection comes from fear, because they love me.
It's also about like convincing people that you are going to get a job after uni, and that's hard. And it's only in the past probably like 6 months that people going, oh, that's what you do now. It's also about exposing what creatives do, where they can end up before you even enter uni, that it's a realm of possibility for more than one kind of person.
This has all been funded by Heritage Lottery Fund, which is kind of different to Arts Council in the sense it's like preserving memories. I mean, I think the things that this project, like, to have actually applied for it, you've got Edson, who is an artist and is a creative, but also has a PhD and is a historian. So actually be able to access this fund, you need some level of actual knowledge and expertise to actually get the money in the first place. And then that filters down to the people that actually were doing things. It's a shame that sometimes you kind of do need some form of like gatekeeper. Not even a gatekeeper, that's not really the right term for it in this scenario. It's kind of like someone that's going out their way to make sure that something's not lost.
I don't want to feel like I have to do something, I want to feel like, no, I can choose whether or not I take this job. And I want it to get to a point where it's like I can choose whether or not I want to take this job. But right now it feels like I don't have that option. The idea of it, the idea that I have to say yes, is kind of making me feel a bit like sour.
Yeah,
a bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just anxiety. It's just like.
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Oh no, probably not.
Have you thought about it?
Probably not.
What do you think of the word itself?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the word. It doesn't feel very safe. As it doesn't feel like a safe word for me to exist in. I don't think that the kind of work that I do is like entrepreneurial, even if I was to set up a business.
The whole aim and purpose of building a collective is to collectively work out how you want to structure yourselves, which is really actually quite hard to do, because when you're doing it like that, you have to then be aware of how everyone feels, and which, when you're working in an environment when none of you getting paid, and like sometimes people can't do it, sometimes people can. Sometimes there has to be that one person making the decisions. You know, like we're trying to create safe spaces, but we weren't actually able to do it successfully without everyone partaking. But I think the only thing you can do is learn from your ways of working, like acknowledge when you make mistakes and like do it together, because otherwise it does just turn into that's how the industry now just is.
I never really counted myself as someone particularly creative, but then you kind of realise there's lots of different types of creatives, lots of different types of artists, and some people's art form is bringing people together to create art. So
the best bit about it actually is when you've done all the hard work and you've put it all together and everyone's been working so much on it, and you've all like, especially when people are new to it as well and they haven't done it before, and then they're like doing all this stuff, and then you see their like faces when people start arriving, and you see their like excitement of like their work being shown and people engaging in it and seeing it, and like seeing everyone there and I don't know, having a drink and like talking to people about it and it being like, I've literally made this space with these people.